Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Danial Iman. Today I want to present steps in identify halal control points, HCP and HCP risk management plan summary for my company, which is RT Karipak Frozen. So let's move to the process flow making curry puff. So firstly we need to purchase raw mat. After that we need to receiving raw materials. Other than that, weighing follow with peeling. After peeling the raw mat, we need to wash it before we boiling. After that, we need to boil and smashing, and follow with mixing and filling. After that, we can cook our raw mat to make curry puff. After cooking, we need to rest it and cooling. After that, we can packing our curry puff and freeze in refrigerator for 1 day, and then we can distribute our product to other supplier. After that, halal control point which is receiving raw material. So receiving raw material has halal trade for people, which is stakeholders bring any personal belonging that is contaminated with haram sauce. Other than that, halal trades for material also have receive the raw material, such as non-halal materials are found together with halal material. Halal trades for environment paste was found in our factory, which is rat and bird. Lastly, halal trades for machine equipment, maintenance of forklift, lubricant or grease, smooth equipment from haram source. HCP second is smashing. Halal control point for smashing halal trade for people is the workers are not maintaining the hygiene. Other than that, halal trade for environment, foreign substance are present during mixing process. Lastly, halal trades for machine using rusty utensil. So let's move on to HCP3, which is mixing. Halal trades for people in mixing processing is the workers bring in any haram food in mixing area. For halal trades for environment is insect are present during manufacturing. Lastly, halal trades for machines using rusty utensil. So HCP4 is cooling. Halal trade for people cause contamination when workers handling the product without proper hygiene practice. Other than that, halal trades for environment, foreign substance are present during mixing process. So let's move on to HCP risk management plan summary. HCP1 is receiving halal trades for people. So the issue is stakeholder bring any personal belonging that is contaminated with haram resources. How visual inspection for the presence of personal belonging from haram sources. When upon entrance of transportation into the premises. Where entrance gate, who security officer. In receiving is non-halal materials are found together with halal material. So how we solve the problem is visual inspection for the presence of non-halal product in the loading bay. When? During the transportation inspection at loading bay. Where? Loading bay or receiving area. who to monitoring is quality checker. So HCP receiving for halal trade for equipment is maintenance of forklift using lubricant or grease, smooth movement from haram sources. So how we avoid this? Ensure the ingredient for lubricant and grease are from halal source with sufficient proof of halal, valid and recognized halal certificate and product. When before purchase of material or initial purchases for new supplier. Where loading bay and receiving area. Who purchaser halal executive and internal halal committee. So let's move on to HCP receiving for halal trades of environment. So the issue is pest was seen at the loading bay. The animal which is bird and rat. How we avoid this? Implement pest control measure in the receiving area. When receive the raw material. Where loading bay and receiving area are more pest control there. Who? Quality control and personnel. So let's move on to HCP2, which is smashing halal threats for people. The issue is workers not maintaining hygiene, which leads to cross contamination. How we provide training on proper hygiene practice. When conduct training once per 2 year. Where meeting rooms are event spaces. Who? The halal executive need to monitoring this. The corrective action. The cleanliness of worker must be checked before they enter production area. The records halal training attendance list. On to HCP2 smashing for halal trades for equipment. The issue is smashing potatoes using rusty utensil. How we avoid this? Regularly inspecting the utensil for any signs of rust. When before use the utensil in the production. Where? In the production area. Who? Production staff. Who halal trades for environment. What foreign substance are present during smashing process? How? Keeping the mixing area clean and sanitized to prevent any contamination. When we need to do this is before and after using smashing area. Where in the smashing area? Who to monitor is production staff. Move to HCP3, which is mixing halal trades for people. Workers bring any non-halal food in processing area. How giving a briefing or check every time before starting process. When? Every time before starting processing. Where? Processing area. Who will to monitor this issue is halal executive. The corrective action, we need to do a training halal awareness every 2 years. The record training record attendance list. So after that is mixing halal trade for pest control. Insects are present during mixing process. How? Implement pest control using measures in the mixing area. When? On an ongoing basis. Where? In the mixing area. Production staff is who monitoring the issue. So let's move on to HCP3 mixing halal trades for equipment. So the issue is mixing processor using rusty utensil. How we monitor is regularly inspecting the utensil for any sign of rust. When? Before use the utensils in the production. Where? In the production area. Who? all workers are need to monitor. Before is cooling halal threats for people. The issue is workers handling the product without the proper hygiene practice. How? Give a briefing or check every time before starting processing. When? Every time before starting the processing. Where? In the processing area. Who to monitor is halal executive. The correction is corrective action. Do a training halal awareness every 2 years. Records training, records attendance list. Lastly, for halal threats for environment, the issue is foreign substance are present during cooling process. How? Use cover lids on containers. When want to cool down the food? Where in the containers? Who? Production staff. So that's all from me. Thank you.